Jacqueline Thomas, speech number 4. Most people have probably never thought about how much trash a person produces over a period of time. Unfortunately, Americans are the worst when it comes to garbage by producing an unbelievable amount of trash in their daily lives. In the United States, 4.39 pounds of trash per day and up to 56 tons of trash per year are created by the average person. Multiply that number of people in the United States, which results in enough trash every day to fill 63,000 garbage trucks. This is why Americans represent 5% of the world's population and 30% of the world's garbage. My own desire to become an active environmentalist has led me to inspire others to make a positive impact on the troubled environment by recycling, reducing, and reusing. Today I would like to show why our natural world is in desperate need for us to take accountability for our trash by encouraging you to take action against this urgent matter. First, let's take a look at the problem that occurs from not being an active environmentalist as a result of failing to recycle, reduce, and reuse. Just like most urgent matters that cause problems, failing to be an active environmentalist is no different. Recycling over years has become essential because landfills are rapidly being closed along with causing more damage to the environment. According to the dictionary, a landfill is a method of solid waste disposal in which garbage is buried between layers of dirt so as to fill it in or reclaim low-lying ground. The federal government estimates that 55% of our trash goes to landfills. As a result, the Environment Protection Agency predicts that 80% of existing permitted landfills will close in the next 20 years. There are various reasons why we are losing landfill space, which includes older landfills are running out of room due to excessive throwing away of trash. Restrictions on landfill are becoming stricter due to pollution, and there is greater opposition to siting any new facilities. The closing of landfills due to the abundance of trash is a serious problem from not recycling, but pollution caused by landfills is one of the key issues that should motivate people to recycle. What is pollution? Pollution is the introduction of a contaminant into the environment which is created mostly by human action. The three types of pollution that affect humans in our environment are land, water, and air pollution. Land pollution is the act of environmental contamination with man-made waste on land. All the bad toxic chemicals and waste that is left or dumped on our land causes it to become polluted. The main human contributor to land pollution is landfills, due to only 2% of our trash being recycled and the rest is disposed of into landfills. No matter if you are throwing away your garbage in the trash can to be dumped into a landfill or littering out the car window, it contributes to the overwhelming land pollution. Water pollution is the introduction of chemical, biological, and physical matter into large bodies of water that corrupt the quality of life that lives in it and consumes it. The earth contains less than 3% of water that is safe for drinking. Therefore, water pollution has severe consequences because humans cannot survive without water. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that about 0.1% and 0.4% of usable surface water is contaminated by landfills that filter through waste, picking up waste such as metals, minerals, organic chemicals, bacteria, virus, and other toxic material. Unfortunately, poorly designed landfills continue to contaminate our water by allowing hazardous material to leak into the ground, even though stricter regulations have been enforced by the EPA. Air pollution is the accumulation of hazardous substances into the atmosphere that endanger human life and other living matter. The disposal of waste into landfills is a common cause of air pollution, which permits methane gas into the air. Although methane gas is not harmful by itself, it combines with other gases in the atmosphere and converts into harmful substances that can cause breathing problems and infections. Did you know that 80% of items in landfills can be recycled, but they're not? Many of the resources used in our everyday lives are promptly disposed of without thinking twice about how or why to recycle them. With the imperative need to recycle, there are still Americans who do not recycle. Although the answers vary of why they do not recycle, the most common is because it is not available in their area. In many regions of the country, especially rural areas, curbside recycling programs do not exist, just garbage pickup. As a result, recycling takes an extra effort to drive to the nearest transfer station, whereas throwing it away only takes a short walk to the curb. Another common reason numerous people do not recycle is because American society is not motivated to, just because they truly are not aware of the urgency of the matter. Many people just don't understand how recycling or the lack thereof affects their daily lives. The out-of-sight, out-of-mind mentality helps Americans justify the situation of not recycling because they do not see the landfills piling up since the trash is shipped elsewhere. For the most part, Americans have been misinformed that waste is not an issue, conservation is not a problem, and energy resources are abundant. In my opinion, people will be more eager to recycle if they understand the benefits, which are extending the life of landfills, helping to contribute to a better environment, reducing pollution conservation, conserving non-renewable resources, helping to create jobs, and supporting the economy. A final reason adding to the inconvenience of why people do not recycle is because they think many of the recycling programs are confusing and time-consuming. For example, there are 13 types of plastic, but in some areas you can only recycle plastic that contains the number 1 or 2 at the bottom of the container. Include this reason with the need to separate the different materials to recycle them. Many Americans think that they have better ways to utilize their time. Recycling is one of the best ways for you to have a positive impact on the world in which we live, because it is important for both the natural environment and humans. There are many types of items that can conveniently be recycled, including glass, paper, aluminum, and plastic. Every month we throw out enough glass bottles and jars to fill up a giant skyscraper. Believe it or not, all these glass items are recyclable. Just from recycling one glass bottle, the energy saved can run a 100-watt light bulb for 4 hours. Also, recycling one glass bottle causes 20% less air pollution and 50% less water pollution than when a new bottle is made from raw materials. If glass is not recycled, it takes 4,000 years or more to decompose, but even longer if it is in a landfill. In order to recycle glass containers, they should be well rinsed and the lids should be removed. Clear glass is more commonly collected than colored, but if you are able to recycle both, make sure to sort it by color if required. To produce each week's Sunday's paper, 500,000 trees must be cut down. If every American recycled just 1/10 of the newspaper, we would save about 25 million trees a year. Each ton of recycled paper can save 17 trees, 380 gallons of oil, 3 cubic yards of landfill space, 4,000 kilowatts of energy, and 7,000 gallons of water. This represents a 64% energy savings, a 58% water savings, and a 60 pounds less of air pollution. In order to recycle paper, newspaper should not be mixed with magazines, junk mail, or other papers unless required by your recycling program. Make sure to place the newspaper in the designated container or separate bins. White office and computer paper is easily recycled because many offices and schools collect these grades of paper for recycling. For other paper, it is wise to check with your local recycling program. Americans use over 80 billion aluminum cans every year. If not recycled, aluminum can that is thrown away can still be an aluminum can 500 years from now. A 60-watt light bulb can be run for over a day on the amount of energy saved by recycling 1 pound of steel. In 1 year, the United States, the recycling of steel saves enough energy to heat and light 18 million homes. All types of aluminum can be recycled. However, some recycling centers do not accept the following types of aluminum, such as foil, pans, old chairs, and siding. Americans use 2.5 million plastic bottles every hour, in which most of them are thrown away. Plastic is one of the most disposable items in the United States culture, when all plastics can be recycled. Some studies show that only 10% of plastic bottles are being recycled, leaving the extra 90% to take up landfills and kill ocean life. By recycling one plastic bottle not only saves anywhere from 100 to 1,000 years in landfills, but also saves the environment from the emissions in producing new bottles along with the oil used to produce those bottles. Some plastics is accepted in many recycling programs, but the most widely recycled plastics are soda bottles and milk jugs. Plastics are coated with numbers to help identify the type of resin in the plastic. In order to recycle plastic, make sure to remove caps and lids, empty, and flatten. For the most part, plastics coated with the numbers 3 through 7 are not accepted for recycling in most programs. Here is a chart that easily shows what yes you can recycle and no you can't recycle. Even if you don't recycle all items that are able to be recycled, every little bit makes a difference. We are drowning in trash. Unless we become an active environmentalist as well as inspire others to do the same, our environment is in serious trouble. If every American would take the time to recycle, reduce, or reuse one item, it could make a positive impact on the natural world. It is time to take accountability for our own trash by becoming aware of the responsibility we have on the urgent matter of recycling. Make a difference now by recycling, reducing, and reusing before it's too late.